chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good evening, and welcome to this, another edition of the Sabrina Speaks show right here on CMRTV.com. Oh my gosh, it's the eve before the Friday. But you know what that means? Yeah, wind down Fridays. And I'm looking forward to the weekend. I don't know about you. And some of us are going on vacation, but you know what? We ain't gonna be haters at all. Today for you, tomorrow for me. But it is indeed a pleasure to be here with you on this Thursday afternoon. And it is 5 o'clock somewhere. That is right here. You know what that means? It is a wrap for the workday. And it's time now to just switch off and transition from tasks to tranquility and hear all about what we are got in store for you today on this another very informative discussion, as we will speak with our guest that'll be joining me momentarily. That is Oscar and his wife, Melissa. And we will hear about the latest, their newest NPO right now it's called The Gray Area. This is a newly formed NPO here in the Cayman Islands, and we will delve into questions as it pertains to get to know more about this NPO, its mission, the operational side, and we'll even hear exactly what motivated Oscar to do this. And it is going to be a very informative show, but I want to thank you, all of those who log on religiously every weekday from Monday to Friday right here and tune in for the Sabrina Speaks show. And I want to welcome Mitzi Tomlinson for the first one commenting today. Welcome. And Marshall, yeah, it looks like class of 90. 90 is dominating in the comment free section here today. Miss Joy, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Shaka Zulu, good evening, my love. How are you? Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. And yes, hi, Jim. Thank you so much. You're always complimenting you and so much more. Thank you. It means a lot. I really do put a lot into making sure that I present here, not only for you, but for myself. And also it does something. It really does something to boost you. You know how it goes. Yeah, but it's a pleasure to have you all here. And I'm excited for this discussion as we wait to welcome each and everyone. The comments are great. And I love the fact when you all actually, there's the number. Tune in, and not only tune in, but participate. It's good to see your commentary here, on Facebook, but it also helps at times once our guests have delivered what they want to deliver and for you to participate in the conversation. It always shows things from a different perspective. So again, this is what this space is for. And, the topics that we will share here next week as well. I know that the cold hard truth will not be there in the morning. I promise you. I'm choosing some topics which will be delivered pretty much the day before, because I'm working on some research. But They're all going to be relatable. It's very topical to what's here, and I'll keep abreast with all of the happenings, filling that gap to make sure that I keep you informed, because it's all about keeping it going right here on cmrtv.com. But I will do my best to make sure that the conversations are very inclusive. It's topical, it's relatable to not only what's here, but of course, because we are voices of the islands and conversations for the world. But without your participation, it's not going to be a success. Hi, Miss Loretta. Good evening and welcome to the show. Miss Priscilla. Good evening, my love. It is such a pleasure to have you all joining here. Hey, Miss Carol. Fresh Joe. I salute you too. It is a pleasure to have you here. This feels so good, looking forward for the show in the evening. And as I prepare and I go into topical issues, research, because I have to come from a place of knowing. I have to come from a place where we can provoke discussion, but not only just to deliver and be a talking head, but the whole idea in delivery of our messages here and in subject matters that it must be informative, educational, and based on facts. So some of the topics, and we can explore together, requires some bit of background. And I know that it has been a huge ask to understand how we got here with immigration reform, as you know, being very topical. Some people really want to know the background of how we got from this 1977 to why we're here now. You're going to be very, very, very excited because I'm almost finished. And yes, that's going to be one of the topics going back and coming forward. And it all plays into immigration reform. So I'm going to share the historical context that goes way back. I'm going to break it down in simplistic language and form to let you know how we got here. That's one of the topics. But I'll just share that with you right now. And I'm excited for what the discovery has led to, breaking it down and sharing that with you. So again, no different. I want you to participate as well. Hey, Jaren, good evening. It's a pleasure to see you, always locked in. Miss Sandra, hi, welcome. Miss Debbie, welcome. Good evening to you as well. And Jasara, wow. You had somebody beat you, Jasara? Shaka Zulu beat you. Yeah, Shaka Zulu beat you, but the good thing is you're here. Hey, Tess, it's a pleasure to have you all here. And today's no different. It's all about uplifting, and I hope that you're getting your space, your headspace into that tranquility and embracing this Thursday evening as we step into the eve of Friday. But let's start. Nothing in your life is random. I got to share this one with you. Not the timing, not the place, not even the waiting room. Every delay carries purpose. Every closed door protects you. Every long road prepares you. Even the silence is scared. You may not understand it now, but God is working in the background, lining up blessings, strengthening your faith, and weaving beauty into the broken places. God's hand is in it all, the heights, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens. He's not just watching your story, he's writing it with love. And I found that, I have a family chat and we have family who shares all of these beautiful, inspirational, motivational quotes. And I thought that it was very fitting as well this evening to also share that with you, because it's not all about me, it's about us as a family. And I thought it was profound. And I hope that you found it as well, something that just makes you sit back when life deals you some hands sometimes that, you kind of wonder. But just remember, God's hands is there at all times, through your highs, through your lows, and he's just not writing your story. He's writing it with love. That is profound, and I hope that it resonates with you this evening and leading into your life, and you can share that as well with somebody else as you let them know that they can call in 936-8255 to join in the conversation. They're always welcome here on all of our social media platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, CMR channels, the at Sabrina Speaks 12 YouTube as well. And definitely I'm also on Facebook, whatever pleases you. There's no reason why you can't follow up. And the good thing with these podcasts is that even if you're knocking off of work or you have an event to go to, it's always there. You can always go back. But yes, let's welcome Miss Marjorie. Hi, hello. I can hear all the excitement. You see that laughing from you, Shaka Zulu? You know exactly what you doing. You all right. Mankind. Good evening, honey child. I am just fair to find, just a few scattered clouds, but I'm making the best of it because it's how you look at the destination, and I'm focused and I'm positive. But thank you for asking. It is indeed a pleasure to have you join us. Now, I am waiting, as I said, on Mr. Oscar DaCosta and his wife, Melissa, to tell us more about the gray area. And I'm hoping that they are not having any issues. Let me just send them. Yeah, so I will be doing my best next week. Not that I'll be hosting the Cold Hard Truth. I will continue to be here coming live for you Monday to Friday from 5 until 6:30. And based on some of the subjects that I tell you I got lined up, if needs be, I'll go a little bit to 7 o'clock, even though I know you guys are holding me to that. But some of the discussions that we will be doing, definitely I'm doing a lot of work to make sure that I can live up to the standard to make you not feel any way at all. And I am excited. So yes, guess what? My guests are here. Yes, they're here. We go. Let's see. Let's bring them in. Let's see. Here we go. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Hi, Oscar. Hi, Melissa.
Thank you, Sabrina.
It is a pleasure to have you guys join us. Are you hearing us? Is everything okay? Everything is okay on your end? You're hearing Claire?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear, and I'm quite sure all of those persons logged in, if they're not hearing, trust me, we will know. But it is a pleasure to have you here on the Sabrina Speaks show and to be able to share with our community today about this new NPO, its missions, the operational aspects of it, and even where it's going. But let's get into this because I'm quite sure I'm excited to see you, Oscar. And, how are you? First of all, how are you both?
Sabrina,
Oscar, go ahead and start.
please forgive me if I get emotional.
It's okay. We're family. Everyone here is family, and we love you, Oscar.
But thanks to God, I'm doing well.
Thank you. It is such an honor to see you. And I am so, so proud of you that you, despite everything, and for those who may not know, you're going to have an opportunity today to speak to that. But I mean, giving you this platform speaks to exactly why I'm here. And thank God to the visionary of the CMR founder that saw that void, that opening, and given me an opportunity. Oscar, it is indeed an honor to showcase you and Melissa here this evening. And thank you for being so brave in doing what you're doing and for understanding the vulnerabilities. Thank you for sharing your space with not
Sabrina,
only your family, but the world.
I'm so happy we can do this for the Cayman Islands community.
Yes, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to keep it positive. We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure to have you all here. But, could you share with us the inspiration behind establishing the gray area as an MPO? And yeah, I'll go into it. For context, I just want to keep it so that we don't lose you and you can just rant on a little bit too long, so to speak. I want us to capture every element of this. But really, what was behind you starting the gray area as an MPO, Oscar?
Well, obviously, I was diagnosed with primary glioblastoma, and that's a story in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, my brother Morgan passed.
Yes.
And I flew back from London on a Tuesday, had breakfast at mom's house on a Wednesday. My blood pressure just skyrocketed, like super high, and I've never ever had that. Mom has a nurse that's with her now all the time. So she took my blood pressure and basically said, no, you need to go to the hospital. I went to doctor's hospital and they threw every single test at me, including a CAT scan. And I'm like, a CAT scan for high blood pressure? And they said, Mr. DaCosta, because of the sudden passing of your brother, we're going to throw everything at you. And thank God they did, Sabrina.
Wow.
I say my big brother died to save my life. Sorry.
No apologies needed. We're family, and we're happy that we could provide this space for you to share your story. That's what it's about.
So that happened. And then, well, went to Shetty Hospital as well. And again, the technology, my lovely wife checked everything out. Because a lot of people would say, well, why don't you do this in the United States? My family is here, my friends are here, and we more than have the technology here. We had some of the best technology in the world. A robot and a surgeon cut my head open and took out that tumor.
Oh, wow.
And I was surrounded by my family and friends and the love in the Cayman Islands. Sabrina, I had no symptoms. No symptoms whatsoever. And that's what this type of brain tumor is. I'm sure we'll get into that as we progress through the show.
Correct. Because I can recall being at an event with you, and you and I had a ball on the dance floor. You had no clue what was going on. Yeah, we took over that dance floor. I think that was October at the Veterans Gala.
Correct.
Yeah, and we were having a blast. Yes. Even though you were going through the loss of your brother, you knew his personality. So when I heard of the news, I was like, what do you mean, Oscar? We were just on the dance floor.
Correct. That's how this disease is.
When Oscar got diagnosed originally, his tumor was less than 1 by 1 centimeter. And by the time he got into his surgery, which was about 4 weeks afterwards, it had already grown to 7 by 9 centimeters.
Oh, wow.
So the progression of this type of cancer is extremely fast. And that's one of the ways that we're so fortunate, because if we had waited for symptoms to start showing up with Oscar, his prognosis would have been considerably shorter period of time than what we were able to do with him being diagnosed so early.
Right. Oh my gosh. So what was the aha moment for this, despite you fighting this and going over the loss of your brother, being diagnosed with this, having that procedure, and here you are, you've gone ahead and done an NGO. What was the aha moment?
Honestly, go ahead, Oscar. Yeah.
Honestly, it was because I had the means to start it, and I know a lot of people don't. Being blessed to be able to go and pay for the CAT scan because I had international insurance, et cetera, et cetera. And I know a lot of people do not have that ability. Plus ambiguity of a brain diagnosis anyway. And then, of course, Cayman having limited resources for this type of neurological disorder. There was really no place to turn to for guidance or to say, well, who can I see beside the doctors themselves?
Right. So it's
go ahead. We had a friend that was going through a really serious health crisis at the same time. She had a tumor right at the base of her brainstem, and she had absolutely no family here, and she had very little understanding of the medical environment in Cayman and little understanding of the insurance. And we really realized that, we were so lucky to have a rooting here and an understanding. I have a background in medical field as well. So we were really lucky that we had that, but we watched her navigating her journey at the same time and realizing that not everyone in the Cayman Islands, whether you're a resident or you're Caymanian, has those resources there. And so it was really identified that there's a major need that needs to be covered here for the community.
Right. Now, the name, the gray area, is very intriguing.
Mhm.
What does it signify in the context of your NPO's mission?
We came to the name partly because the brain is made of two different types of neurological or neural fibers. So one is the gray matter, and then there is a white matter. So that linking, especially as we realized that we wanted our umbrella to be quite large to be able to cover all neurological diseases that are serious. We saw that nice little link that there's the gray matter within the brain that everyone has to deal with, but there's also such ambiguity, especially when you're early on in your diagnosis. You just really feel like you're living in this gray zone where there's not a lot of black and white, and one question leads to the next question.
Right.
So it just really encompassed everything that we wanted to cover in order to be able to address neurological diseases on the island.
Now, I want to try to get down into the specifics of the mission and the vision of the gray area of the gray area NPO. Can you clearly just articulate what the whole mission and vision is all about at the end of the day?
Yeah,
Because this was a choice. I know you dabbled into it in the story sharing, but just getting into the crooks and cranny of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to be the bridge between the medical teams and a patient and their families and caregivers going through surviving in the day-to-day life. So the medical teams are phenomenal at telling you these are your medications and these is when you need to take them. But we really realized that there's a need to help with financial assistance, to help with education, to help with the legal things that need to be in place. Oscar has spent a couple of times in ICU with seizures. So making sure that everything was covered from a financial and a legal standpoint, again, because it's just also very confusing, and you're dealing with the crux of the moment of your loved one being sick and not doing well. So we really want education components both for the general population, being able to recognize what a seizure is, and we hope that is as noticeable as where a defibrillator is in a public place, so that people can understand recognizing seizures, educating the patients in terms of proper nutrition and being able to use adjunct medical therapies that might be able to assist them. We're really keen on getting a crisis kit that's available for patients right when they're first diagnosed. So if the doctor has to say, I'm so sorry to share this news with you today, but don't worry, here's a foundation or a society that's going to be able to help you, and you can outreach to them, and they're going to have support groups there for you, and they're going to be able to help get you through this process. So that's where we're starting, and then we're expanding from there. So support groups, education, funding, being able to assist with off-island travel if that's necessary, getting a medical board, a medical advisory board together, just so that we can help give some navigations through the areas that all of these patients and families are having to navigate through.
Now go ahead.
Jack, there too, that
Sure.
it's not only about the patient, it's also about the caretakers and caregivers. Because their stress as well, not probably more stress than the patient, because it's their loved one that they have to watch go through this. And sometimes you do it, but I got a third of my brain cut out. That's my joke.
Wow.
And the best compliment I got was from a friend of mine at lunch. So what really peeves me off and all this? I'm like, what's that? The fact that you got a third of your brain cut out and you're working on 2/3 and you're still smarter than I am.
Oh wow.
Now, Sabrina, you know me, your personality. So it's
I do. I do. I do.
I took the compliment. And and I will continue, and I will fight for this. And I'm going to beg everybody I can to give this NPO, because we are here to make a difference. We are here to support anybody with neurological issues, strokes, MS, brain cancer, seizures. Any neurological thing is what we're trying to help guide people through. Because unfortunately, there's nothing on island right now that can really specialize or help with anybody going through a neurological disorder.
Correct. And you've found people coming up to you since the formation
Yes,
of this NPO that wasn't even though you were focused on your particular diagnosis, I'm
yeah,
quite sure you must have had other people saying, well, what about stroke? What about this? What about that? How has
indeed,
that been?
indeed. And, you know, I walk with a certain person who went through a stroke as well and recovering from that.
Hmm.
We're each other's support.
Oh, wow.
Again, a neurological issue, a support group,
Hmm.
just to talk about it.
Right.
And I don't know, I think somebody used an analogy the other day. It's like if you see a blue car, you're going to see every single blue car after that, right?
After that, correct. Hmm.
But there's so many of us in the Cayman Islands suffering from a brain issue, brain tumor, be it
Hmm.
malignant or not. Right in the group of apartments that I live in, there's 4 of us that have brain tumors.
Hmm.
4
Have
brain
you,
tumors.
I'm quite sure now that you're into this, that I'm quite sure other persons, and I'm hoping by means of this space, that other organizations as well will see what you're doing. And when you look at statistics, because you rightfully say that's just in your area, you don't know how much actually are amongst us walking around with these issues and probably feel isolated or like they're alone.
Correct.
So it's amazing
Before
what
my
could be
operation,
yield from this.
Sabrina,
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe my surgeon took out the brain tumors out of 2 or 3 other people before me.
It's going to
Again,
be. Mhm.
neurological issues, right? And no
Yes,
place to
yes.
turn.
Hmm.
And the crazy thing is it's not just adults, it's children as well. We know of two people within our social network that have children that are currently suffering with brain cancer.
Hmm.
So again, Oscar's analogy of you want to buy a blue car and you see more and more blue cars, but the estimate is that there's about 15 patients on island with brain cancer right now. Parkinson's, which is another cause that we're hoping to cover with our umbrella, has a significant number of our older Cayman population that are suffering with Parkinson's.
Hmm.
It's strokes are extremely high on this island as well. So
Correct.
absolutely, yeah, there is such a large population of people that are just floundering on their own without the support. So,
Now, funding is often a critical challenge for NPOs. What is your strategy for even securing sustainable funding for the gray area?
mm. So we did one little fundraising event because of Oscar's love of soca music
Mhm.
at that venue. So we had called
Tell
that
me about it.
the man would even dance in the ICU, and they thought he was having another seizure, which is how we
Yeah,
came up
that's
with
how I
the
came up
name.
with the name. So the name of it
So
was Soca Not Seizures, and that
Mm.
happened because I was in ICU and I put on my headphones to listen to soca music. And Sabrina, you know me and dancing.
Yes.
So I started jigging that bad boy, and those nurses' eyes lit up. And I'm like, no, soca not seizures, soca not seizures.
Oh my goodness. It's
Again,
just
you have to get through this with positivity,
correct.
light, humor, and a
Mhm.
lot of God's love.
Yes. And you're
yeah,
loved by us. You're loved by so many.
yeah,
You're loved. Melissa, you were
absolutely.
saying something.
We are having a launch party to actually officially introduce our NPO to the community on September 6th. And there we're hoping to get our seed money to actually get our programs off the ground.
Mhm.
We have goals of starting an annual golf tournament as well, which will be coming up in the spring of 2026. We're hoping to take kind of the anniversary of our launch party every year and turning it into a very small and intimate type of gala. We really don't want to do the big things. We really want to keep things small and focused to make
Mhm.
sure that the money gets to the programs instead of to all of the fluff. It's a great business model for some of the NPOs, but for us, we're really just looking to keep things very small, very intimate, and very grassroots. Um, So we will have memberships for our association. So if anyone wants to access their services, then definitely becoming a member is key. We are going to do all of these fundraising events, little charity rock and roll bingos and that sort of stuff in all of the local businesses, silent auctions and all of that sort of stuff. The goal is really to try and help and support as much of the Canadian business as possible, as well as we're going through our processes.
All right. So pretty much you're looking for mixed donations, be it grants, corporate sponsors, or even other revenue streams.
Yeah, exactly.
You're open to.
We're open to just about anything. Yeah, absolutely. So corporate sponsorship would be really key to make sure that we have the consistency of our funding in order to be able to execute it.
Okay, you're coming across a little patchy. I don't know if you have a mic or just
there we go.
There you
Is that
go.
better?
That's much better.
Perfect.
Now, what steps are you taking to ensure transparency and accountability in the Gray Area's financial management part and operations, especially given the strict NPO legislation here in the Cayman Islands? I can only imagine what that process was like.
Definitely. We're really lucky that we have a phenomenal team on our board. So we do have a general counsel that has been involved in getting many NPOs in the Cayman Islands off of the ground. So our bylaws and our policies and procedures were in place before we even started talking about the programs that we're going to try and institute. Abigail Metz has been absolutely phenomenal at making sure all of the T's and I's are dotted. I ran an MPO in Canada, and it's definitely a very different process in the Cayman Islands versus in Canada.
Right.
The compliance and some of the legal stuff in place is a little bit more extreme. So we're really fortunate that Abby had that experience to be able to make sure that everything was in place at the start, so we don't have to go back and try and correct things.
Right.
As well, our treasurer, Jane Peck, has worked with many MPOs. She's highly involved with Meals on Wheels as well. And so she has many years of experience of doing, the financials and the compliance in that regard. So we've got two really phenomenal people on our team to help with that component of it.
Right.
And then the rest of us are the creative and the get it done kind of people.
Now, Oscar, I know you're,
of course, being a lawyer, I review all that too.
of course, I can't see you sitting down, and Mr. 007. Now, looking forward, and I know, Oscar, we're positive, we're being optimistic, and we're definitely moving in faith. Where do you see long-term aspirations for the Gray Area? This organization in 5 to 10 years, because we got to be optimistic.
Oh, we will be. We will be around. And I see us as having grown to the point where we'll be able to give bursaries to people trying to do neurological medicine.
Right. Oh, nice.
That's where I see this in 5 to 10 years. It would be that big that not only can we assist people who might need help to go abroad, but that we can do a bursary or a scholarship, whatever we want to call it, for those trying to do neurological science.
Excellent. Again,
I would also like our NPO to push that the census states cancer on it instead of just heart attacks.
So you want it more transparent, more open.
Yeah. We have so much cancer on this island, be it brain, be it breast, be it whatever. There's so much cancer on this island, but it's not listed on the census.
That's a different show and a different topic, and I'm quite sure I will I will be bringing it up at some point about the cancer registry, and it goes straight into exactly what you're saying, because for years it has been given a negative perception that this registry is to get into your business, to see how much cancer is here, for the big pharmas to move in. And I feel that I need to bring that in this space to debunk all of that and look at it for the big picture. I mean, the STEP survey 2023 speaks about it. The Auditor General reports speak about the importance of having it. So what is your take on being an advocate for making that our mission, to really have a cancer registry here in the Cayman Islands?
A cancer registry would be lovely, but again, people feeling that it's going to invade their privacy. because you might have to put your name and state what type of cancer you have, et cetera, and it might get too personal. On a
Yes.
census, it's anonymous. We just want to know how much cancer is on the island.
Right. Because at the end of the day, like I said, that's a total different topic. But
Correct.
understanding you're an advocate for what you have that ties into cancer, you would be a wealth of a person to have around the table in order to say the importance
Like, I'll put
of
my name in the
making
cancer
sure.
registry. Sabrina, you know how small Cayman is.
Yes.
Like, people knew I had this before I even announced it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And here you are.
Let's speak the truth.
Yeah.
So, me going with my name on a cancer registry, I have no issue with.
Right.
So I would do
Now,
both.
of course. Of course. Now, as founders of this NPO, what personal sacrifices or even unexpected rewards have you experienced so far in the starting of the gray area? I mean, this is so emotional, and I can't tell you how happy I am that this space is here for you
Well, for
to
me,
actually come to the public.
it was all the doctors I mentioned it to saying how much we needed here.
Oh, wow.
Yes. How much this is needed. And them also saying, hey, I'll help you out as best I can. Again, came mankind. And I'm just so happy we can get this up to give back to the community.
Yes. We're
And it's
proud
not only
of
me,
you.
it's the team behind me. They're the ones doing it.
Right. Right.
And they're fantastic. They are all fantastic members. My wife is the president. I'm just simply founder/vice president.
Now, a
Then
day in the life of Oscar living with this. What is that? What does that look like?
I get up in the morning and I have to wake up at 5:30 to take one pill. Then I have to make breakfast, and at 6 o'clock I take another bunch of pills. Then I'll probably mosey on out to my coffee shop to get some little exercise in. Have a coffee there. Come back. If there's a meeting or if there's a doctor's appointment, I'll do that. And then apart from that, I just relax because it makes you sleepy. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Right.
Oscar's on 4 different anti-seizure medications in order to keep his seizures under control. So those are all very neurologically suppressing. So he has to sleep a lot just in order to be able to get those little glimmers of good brain function out of him. So there's a lot of sleep. There's a lot of doctor's appointment. His chemo schedule has been 5 days on and then 23 days off to recover. So it seems like as soon as he starts to feel a little bit better, there's the next round of chemo taking him back down again. So it's been tough that way.
Right.
For me, because he's not allowed to be left alone, he needs to always have someone there because of the threat of seizures. Me being able to work on this MPO while I sit there and watch him sleep, it's really just been able to give me a huge amount of purpose and satisfaction that I get to do something to make a difference while I'm going through something very difficult.
Of course. How have you all been managing the mental health side of this? I mean, you are there being a tower of strength for your partner, for your husband, for your friend. How do you actually cope with dealing? How do you just manage mental health? Has this organization, your NPO, helped in the healing of what you're actually facing on a day-to-day?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a poor little palm tree in my backyard that occasionally gets screamed at rather loudly if I'm really reaching the limits. But Oscar and I have been absolutely, I think, exemplary in that in every moment of this process, we have dealt with it with humor, a lot of dark humor, and a lot of love for one another, and just surrounding ourselves with our family and music and anything that makes him happy. What Oscar wants, Oscar gets, and it's been a great time of just trying to make him as happy as possible as we go through this.
Right.
So that's how I've coped with it. If I can get a smile on his face, it makes the day worth it.
And how I make sure her mental health is okay is by sending her out on boats with friends because water is her favorite space.
Yes, I love
So
it.
I'll
I
say,
love it.
leave me alone. I'm fine. You go on a boat. Go have fun with your girls, or go have fun with Captain Charles and go fishing.
Mhm.
I'm quite sure you don't want nothing better than that. Now, looking at even how the dynamics, by extension, the extended family, how has this impacted? Has it drawn you even more closer together?
I would say yes, most definitely. And we've always been a close family. But
Mhm.
I have to big up my cousin Raquel Eden. There's your shout out, Raquel. She's
Go ahead.
absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Of
And
course,
this
my
is when
mom.
you really know the importance of family.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I couldn't imagine not having Oscar's family around in order to be able to help and support us, which again highlights the fact that other people are not so lucky going through their diagnoses, but the family has just been absolutely phenomenal with me.
Mhm.
And just being there, if we need to call an ambulance, the family is there within 5 to 10 minutes.
All right.
So I'm so thankful to all of them for just loving and embracing me and giving me as much support as they have as well.
And that is key. Now, guests, we do have a caller, and you can see the number that's scrolling on the phone, and we welcome callers. You want to shout out to Oscar and Melissa to show them all the definite Sabrina Speaks fan love, encouragement. This is an opportunity because this is a village, and we're going to all be here to support Oscar, to support his NPO. Good evening, caller. You're live.
Good evening, Sabrina, and good evening, Mr. Oscar, and good evening, Melissa. Melissa, I don't know you, but I know Oscar. I know his people, and you got my sympathy because I have the same thing, dealing similar with what you're dealing with, and it's not easy. But all I can tell you is just pray God is good, because I don't know if this. I saw you guys when Oscar was at Health City, because I was there with he was upstairs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, okay.
Oh.
Miss Jean is your mom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I talked to the family and stuff. I know her, she know me. And I couldn't come in to see you because I had to be careful because we were in the room down below. But because my husband, he had cancer now too, but he had a seizure years ago. And it was similar. They didn't have the facility here, and they had to send us to Jackson Memorial. I was out there 6 months, laying down by his side in the hospital because he had a seizure when they had the old farmer market. You remember the building that they had where they have the farmer market now when they had the house.
Yes, ma'am.
But he didn't have. They say that well, apparently yours, but can't. But he had the seizure, but it damaged his brains. He had brain damage from it. But thank God he didn't have any more. He had the one, because I can remember when they called me from the airport that they called the ambulance for him, and I went and saw him on that stretcher. All I could do was start crying because I thought he was dead, because he was frothing to his nose, his mouth everywhere. I thought he was dead. And I know that it's not easy. But then he was diagnosed now with the vocal cord cancer. But thank God they say that's gone. But I know, and I have to, like Miss Melissa says, she has to be there with you. I have to be with him too, because they have to explain everything to me, because he don't, by him having the brain damage, he don't know anything. So I tell them I'm his mother, I'm his doctor, I'm his nurse, and all them doctors up here, so they tell me you got a good way, because I have him for 50 years. So I understand what she's going through. I sympathize with her. But like I say, God is good, and I will pray for you guys and just hold the faith. And God can do anything. He can cause miracles. So I realize what she's saying, because I've been there and did it, and I'm still doing it. So all the best to you. Just keep the good faith up, because like I say, God is great. He can move mountains. So, and I know that he comes from a good, because I know your dad good. He used to sign stuff for me. I knew your brother. I know Miss Jeannie. And I sympathize for you with poor Morgan, because I couldn't believe that. And I just take it from there. Just take one day at a time, and you'll be okay. Because you look like you're a strong guy too. So just keep the faith up, and you'll be okay. And God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
For
much.
the kind words. Thank you for the
Yeah.
kind words.
Yeah.
Yes. But it
I
does
will
make a
say,
difference. Go ahead.
anyone that has ever had to watch a loved one have a seizure, it is the most traumatizing experience you could possibly imagine. And Oscar's last round of seizures took almost 4 days for them to get it under control on top of it. So he was actively seizing for almost 5 hours before they were able to suppress it enough. And then there was still that neurological activity that was happening. So I would talk to him and his eyes would just go vacant. And then all of a sudden he would come back in and I knew that was another seizure.
Right.
It is just petrifying,
Yeah,
whether it's a child or an adult,
of
to
course.
see someone go through that.
Now, do you have like auras, Oscar? Like, do you know when they're coming on? Because some people like they'll smell something or they'll feel a certain way, or they just happen and you don't even know.
I think for me, it just happens and I don't even know, because I know
Okay.
when I had my last major one, I was sitting here at the couch in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of having lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and Melissa goes, "You okay, darling?" I'm like, "I'm fine." She goes, "I think you're having a seizure." I'm like, "I'm not." And here I was thinking I didn't have my fork with me to use to eat the food, and I
Mm-hmm.
started grabbing the fork out of my left hand, thinking that was somebody else giving me a fork. That's all
Oh,
I
wow.
remember.
Mm.
Um,
Oh.
he gets Oscar's symptoms tends to be that he'll start talking kind of gobbledygook. He'll say that he can hear voices or that he can hear text messages being sent all around him. And then he'll get very emotional. And then in the last one, he could only look to the left because the right side of his brain was being affected with the seizure. So he could only look to the left, and then his head cranked to the left, and then the tremors would start. So I've gotten to, because I've now watched him go through 2 rounds of seizures. I've definitely recognized the auras and the symptoms, and the poor people that come to help me out and sit with him if I have to go to an appointment or anything like that. I sit down and I'm like, these are all the things that you need to look out for. So everyone that walks into this house is now acutely aware of how to identify a seizure with him.
Now
So
I
when she
know.
has to go
Go
to
ahead.
heaven or anything, I give everybody a chance. I just go to sleep.
Mm. Have you had to do modifications to make your space more safe, understanding that these seizures can actually present themselves? You could be just up, like you rightfully say, watching TV, having a meal. Um, this has just pretty much reorganized, or if that's a word, or what you've had to do, but to
Pretty
make your
much,
surroundings safe.
pretty
Yeah.
much since my surgery, I was told not to live in a house with stairs. Try to keep everything ground floor. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get into any bathtubs in case you siege and you go under.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get back out. So it's a shower, but it's not even a step-in shower. It's a straight shower that you
Mm-hmm.
walk into, as I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those
then
type of
we
things.
uh,
And then
we
go
we
ahead.
had a really hard time when I had to call an ambulance. So we had specifically chosen an apartment that was ground level, and I thought was the most accessible apartment you could possibly prepare for wheelchairs and ambulances
Right.
and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get the structure up the front into the front door because there's actually 2 steps there. So we took it into the back of the condo, which was a sliding door. The structure was 125 pounds, and Oscar is 200 and something.
Mm-hmm.
So when we had Oscar on the stretcher and he was actively convulsing at the same time, so it was extremely unstable. It took 2 of us and 2 paramedics to be able to carry him over the lip to get out of the sliding door. And then we got him onto the grass and he instantly sunk into the grass. So we had to carry him and the stretcher almost 20 feet in order to be
Oh,
able to
wow.
get on pavement. So immediately after that, I had a ramp built into the back that if I have to call an ambulance again, we'll never have to deal with that
Do that
again,
again.
because it was almost 45 minutes that it took for us to even get him into the ambulance in order to be able to stabilize him. So yeah, the house is definitely quite modified now, just to
Correct.
make sure that we don't have those problems again.
Yes, we do have another caller. Good evening, caller. You're live.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hey.
I just wanted to say to Oscar and his wife Mel that thank you guys so much for coming on this show and just sharing your journey with all of us, because I think a lot of people didn't know, Oscar, that you were even going through this. And as one person said in the comment section, Caymanians kind of have this reputation, especially when it comes to cancers, but just sickness in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we hide it from family even. I remember when my dad had cancer, he never
Oops, we lost you. Hello? Caller?
Oh.
Oh, you're back. You're back. We lost you for a minute. Hello, caller? Hello, Sandra. She's driving. Yeah, she's driving. Yeah, she'll call back. That happens. But yes, it's yeah, I wanted to go there as well with you for being so brave and actually coming. We got you back. Yeah.
My apologies. I think the car picked up the Bluetooth.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much of that you actually heard, but I was just
You
saying
stopped
that
at your father diagnosed with
yeah,
cancer
so
and thanking him for coming on, for being so open.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, another person was just sharing how it's hidden so much, and I know that from personal experience because unfortunately, we see it all the time. I didn't know that my dad had cancer. He had stomach cancer. And it's so crazy because sometimes we go to the physicians and they say, okay, give me your family history. And we don't even know our own family history when it comes to cancer. So I think Oscar is so incredibly brave to be this forthcoming with this situation that him and Mel are now dealing with. So I just wanted to really say thank you for that. And I think that a lot of people will benefit from your NPO and also from just hearing you share your story. It will be a comfort to a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are going through different health battles in different ways. But I think it's very, very brave of you to just step forward and be willing to be honest and share, all of it with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm happy that I could do this and I want to do it because it's all about giving back and helping people.
Yeah. Well, continue to be strong, and sometimes be weak. I mean, it's okay.
It's fine.
And
Yeah.
we'll be praying for you for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And this space is for anybody who, I know some people are a little shy. And I thank you for all the comments that are being shared here. But you're free to call in 936-8255. And just share it. It means a world of a difference. It makes a huge difference when you can hear those words of encouragement and inspiration to this lovely couple. But for you, Oscar, for being so brave, for being so open and sharing your journey with us so far. I mean, it is a bit not normal for Caymanians as a whole in its culture, privacy, and not everybody is the same. Some people will say, sickness is for everybody, which is why the talks now about mental health. Before that used to be taboo. You didn't talk about it. You were almost locked away in a room. And for you going through this and being able to be so open to share with us your journey, that must take a lot, but it speaks a lot about who you are as well.
Well, Sabrina, I learned this from my father. Dad was very much a giver back to the community. And of course, Morgan with his cultural stuff.
Yes.
So, it is what it is. Like I said,
Mhm.
Cayman is small. They're
Right.
going to know if you have cancer or not.
Mhm.
Even if you divulge it or not.
Mhm.
They're going to know, oh, somebody is sick, so and I hear blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And the whole thing is we're all warriors.
Mhm.
We're all warriors.
Yeah. So tell us again, for those who may just be joining us, again, what is upcoming and again, moving forward with your NPO, what is in store?
Mm. So we do have our launch party at Finds to Ocean V2O on September 6th. And it's a very small little event. We're just about sold out, to be honest with you. Even though we just launched this to the public. But it's a James Bond theme called License to Heal. And with this event, we're hoping to gather seed money so that we can really start launching our programs. So one of the first programs that we're starting is with support groups, a monthly support group, not only for patients, but also a separate one for caregivers so that the caregivers can actually just get together and not have to worry about burdening the people that they're trying to take care of. crisis kits for newly diagnosed people, and really trying to start getting some of the funding that we want to have in
Correct.
place.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Now, medical insurance is a huge thing. Do you
Mhm.
mind going into medical insurance? And again, you know the importance of having medical insurance when you have it or when you're in a situation as you are. How have you found that landscape thus far?
Well, I have international insurance, nothing local. Well, I now have local Britk Basic SHIC. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
called SHIC,
Chic.
Standard Health Insurance Coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I have an international insurance company called Cigna because I was living in the UK. And obviously, I'm in the UK, so there's no you can't do your own personal health insurance here, which I also think is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
To have 100% coverage, you have to be working with a company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you cannot actually get your own personal insurance, like I don't know, like a premium personal health insurance thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really strange. If you can pay for it, you should be able to get it, as far as I'm concerned. Anywho, Cigna has been really good. They're recognized all around the world. Thing is, with international insurance, a lot of times you have to prepay it, and they'll give you the money back, usually
Okay.
100%. But again, you have to prepay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You
So
gotta
my
have it in order to prepay. Some
correct,
people may not
Yeah.
be in that position.
correct.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
Sabrina, I was blessed that I could start this journey like that, and that's what I want
Mm-hmm.
this NPO to be able to do for people in similar
Mm-hmm.
situations as well.
Right.
Definitely at the start, it took a fair bit of time for them to come back and give approval for each test, and we knew that time was of the essence. So we did take the option of paying for some of the MRIs and CT scans at the start, just to make sure that we were getting things expedited and responded to as quickly as possible. But not everyone has that option. We certainly recognize that.
Correct.
But once we got into the thick of things and he had a diagnosis, then everything up until this point has been pre-approved. So it's been nice that we don't have to go in and kind of negotiate with them at every month for chemo and every
Mhm.
MRI. But we're just reaching this next phase where all of a sudden the pre-approvals are done now. So it's a real challenge to just constantly have to go back and just beg for the money to get approved faster, because that MRI in a couple of days with Oscar's diagnosis can make a big difference for him.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's one thing you getting the refund, you're pretty much making sure, even if you have it now, you're hoping that, God forbid, if you have to pay for something, that the refund for the previous one comes in time. So it's
Correct.
almost like a revolving, you're like a hamster going around
Hamster wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
to survive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, looking at life through your lens, do you see it totally different? Both of you. And I would love to hear your individual responses, because there's one thing when we live life unaware of what we have
Mhm.
versus now that you are aware, you're in tuned. Do you see life totally different?
I see it as I'm grateful, thankful, and blessed every day.
Mhm.
You always find a silver lining to the smallest of things.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us are like concerned, oh, I don't have that nice flashy car, or I don't have this great position in my job. But you know what? Be thankful that you're above ground and you have a head over your head and you can eat food.
Mhm. Mhm.
And also, I learned this from my brother Morgan's passing too. Anybody that you love in your life, friend, family, whatever, you tell him I love you every day. Morgan and I would have conversations. We'd both say to each other, I love you. So my big brother knew how much I loved him when he passed.
Mhm.
Show love, show support.
Mhm.
And I'll give you some advice my father always gave me. Respect, or my mom and dad, respect is due to a dog.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
It don't matter if you're white, purple, pink, black, or blue. Respect is due to a dog.
Right.
And that's how we should all be living.
Melissa, from your lens, being that support, that rock, that foundation, looking at life now through your lens, what does that look like?
I think very similar to Oscar, that just don't waste a moment. don't waste a moment assuming that there's going to be another one there, because you just don't know when it's going to change. And sometimes it changes very quickly and extremely dramatically. And you just want to claw back all of those moments that you've wasted previously.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to waste a moment of Oscar and my time together. And I try never to say no to a friend that wants to visit or anyone that wants to spend time with us, because it's just so important that you take and you live in that moment and appreciate everything that's right in front of you, because it can change.
Yeah, yeah. So, Oscar, in regards to just embracing life, and I love that part about you, what can we expect from this upcoming event?
Huh.
You hear that? That was a disclaimer. That was a disclaimer.
Hopefully a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
some jokes, and dancing if possible.
Right. You see, that right there is the world, because all I heard was, that's Oscar. And, that's amazing. That's amazing. Despite everything that you've gone through thus far, that joy, that zeal, that fighter in you is just amazing. And, that is what will inspire, encourage, and makes you unique. You got to love you.
Thank you for
Got to
that.
love
You know
you.
what? I found a lot of it by this NPO as well, because I
Mhm.
need to be here to make it happen, to help other people.
Right.
And I need it to continue should I pass, because we all going to pass one day.
That's inevitable, but yeah, I get where you're
But
going.
I want to make sure it's here to continue to help.
Mhm.
I
Melissa, you got a
th-
gem. You
yeah,
got a
I think
golden nugget.
for our launch party, I think my biggest goal is to make sure that Oscar understands again just how much community is there to support him and love
Yeah.
him and tell him that they love him. Um, in terms of what I'm hoping the actual event to provide is some inspiration for the community, and to really bring together all of our various medical people, and get them all in the same room and working towards a common good. And that we all just realize that, I quite often say it takes a village to raise a child, and it
Yes.
takes a village in order to be able to take someone through their journey of sickness. So that's really what I'm looking for, is building up this community to make sure that anyone else that is going through what Oscar and I are going through will never have to feel the loneliness in their
Mhm.
experiences.
Do you feel you'll eventually reach out to other agencies, be it government and other private agencies, for collaboration? Because you're not reinventing the wheel in this particular case. You had
No.
professionals that welcome you into this space.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we've already reached out to Kelly Holding and Jasmine and Meals on Wheels and ARC, and have had meetings with all of them, because really for us, we want to make sure that we're as collaborative as possible and that we're sharing the resources as much as possible across all of us. So, that's really, really key. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, and we're not trying to compete for anyone else's money or anyone else's volunteers.
Right.
We really want this to be as collaborative as possible, because realistically, the journey going through a serious neurological disease requires many different things at many different stages. So, the transition through to a palliative care, that's where Jasmine comes in and assists. And the medical board that they already have established is something that can help guide us as well. So we're really making sure that we have as great of a relationship with everyone else, so that we can all scratch each other's backs and take care of each other, because
Right.
it's about taking care of the community ultimately.
Of course.
And I'd like to give a shout out to the Cayman Breast Cancer Foundation as well,
Mhm.
who, as you know, I support them quite a bit.
Yes, and Beverly sends her love. That's a message that she definitely shared
There you
yesterday.
go.
Please tell Oscar we love him.
But they've reached out and offered me wellness, and I live literally can walk over there.
Right.
So they've said, if you need to just come and chat, we'll chat. Again, everybody has cancer. It's a terrible thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Theirs might be in a different area than mine, but still,
Right.
just to sit down and support and hear your story and my story, and to say, hey, We made it. We're fighting it. We're warriors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful thing.
Now, are you
So
on a
that,
specific diet? Sorry, not me. Go ahead, but then you can just go into
oh,
that.
again, God has blessed me. I think I'm the only person that gained weight on chemotherapy and radiation. I put on 16 pounds.
Oh, wow.
All that time in London, walking
Yeah.
Battersea Park, trying to do well and keep my leanness.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
Again, God is great, but I eat everything in sight, including vegetables.
Okay. Okay.
When I
Oscar
was in
has
the hospital, I had a craving for chicken patties. So
Mm.
everybody would come and visit me. They'd bring me my Island Taste chicken patty.
Mhm.
He's been on some really high doses of steroids, and kind of
Yeah.
like I said a little bit earlier, what Oscar wants, Oscar gets. So if he has
Right.
a craving for something, you know, I'm a real nutritionist maven
Mhm.
myself, but what he wants, he gets, because again, it's putting a smile on his face and it's making him happy. And if he wants a chicken patty, he gets a chicken patty.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Again, like what you said earlier on, things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. Like, who cares about the fancy car? Who cares about, an argument or anything? You're just
Yeah,
grateful for every second of the day that you're
correct.
above ground. I mean, it's a total different shift, and it's even a mental shift because
Yeah,
you're focusing on getting better, remaining positive, and just being in a total different space. It's
indeed.
survival.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh,
But I
wow.
have a goal to live for.
Mhm.
A,
Mhm.
my wife. B, my mom. And C, this NPO.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we're
I
gonna be
use, I
here for
use C
you.
because, C can be SEE
Mhm.
or letter C.
Right.
Remember
Right.
that old adage from primary school? This is an A B in conversation, so see your way out of here.
Yes. No, definitely, this is your platform. This is your time. And again, it's been amazing to be a part of this foundation, to be able to put your NPO out there.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Anything else you would like to share? I mean, you can come from both perspectives. You can use this time to recap for those who may want to hear more. If there's more that you want to share about your story, Oscar, and leading up to here, like that view of just getting the diagnosis, what that felt like, leaving there,
Well, I
exactly
will be
what
quite
that was
honest
like.
with you. I'll be quite honest with you. When the doctor looked at my scan, this is before they even operated on me. They just looked at my scan and saw the swelling on the brain
Mhm.
and told me this is at least a stage 3, maybe a stage 4 malignant
Right.
cancer. Sabrina had to excuse myself and go to the bathroom
Oh,
and then
wow.
come back.
Mhm.
It's one of those moments.
Mhm. Mhm.
And again, like I said, I'm doing this because after hearing that diagnosis and trying to find some place to turn to, there was nothing, essentially.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hence why we're starting this NPO, so that when you get a diagnosis like that, you can call us and we'll guide you. Therapy,
Mhm.
support group, whatever
Right.
you need, we're here to help. We're here to
Mhm.
hold your hand through this because it's awful to hear,
Mhm.
especially since this type of cancer, there's no signs of it. Really and truly, there's no signs of it. I think you have to look out for it. Now they say if you have headaches, which I had none, even after my surgery, they cut my
Mhm.
head open. No headache,
No.
no hard of hearing. If anything, my hearing got really like James Bond hearing. Like I could literally hear across the street just by looking at people's lips, and I could hear them, not
Mm.
read their lips, but I could actually hear their
Hear
conversation,
them. That's
Which
interesting.
is
which
one of
could
the
also
subtle
be one
signs.
of the signs.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Oh.
I just thought, oh, I can suss now.
You're fast. People say you're fast. How you hear that?
That was a joke. I don't get into people business.
No, Lord. But it's funny that these things just perked up when it was, for some that they would say it's good, but
Yeah,
then it was actually a bad thing.
correct.
Mhm. My background is in neurology. I've always specialized with neurological conditions. And so I remember it was 2 weeks before Oscar was meant to come and visit me. He told me that he had this hypersonic hearing and he was pretty sure he was turning into Superman or something. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, that's really interesting. That kind of sounds like a brain tumor. And I just kind of dismissed it. And I'm like, well, if he says anything else about it, I'll make sure he goes and sees a doctor. And it was less than 2 weeks later that he got his diagnosis. So for me, just to kind of recap what I want to share, one of the really important things that we want to do is to educate the public how to recognize these subtle symptoms, how to recognize the onsets of Parkinson's, how to recognize the onsets of brain tumors, how to recognize a seizure and what to do for a seizure. So that educational component, I think, is so key because there's so many very small, subtle signs that you can just so easily dismiss, and that can make such a difference in terms of the outcome and the prognosis that that person is going to be facing.
Right.
So, we have an Instagram account that's called the Gray Area KY. And that's really where we're going to be trying to educate the public as much as possible so that, if anyone kind of hears those little funny things that they can think, maybe I should get them to a doctor instead of just like, okay, well, you're kind of crazy today. So that's for me. I just really hope that people will follow us through our social media and then try and engage with us through our various events in the year.
Now, hindsight is 2020. When you say that, Oscar, do you think you could have picked up on subtle signs now that you're where you are now? Can you recall back anything earlier?
Honestly, Sabrina, besides that, where I said felt like I had the supersonic hearing, that's the only thing. I just thought it is what it is.
Wow.
Like again, no headache, no vision stuff, just that little bit of hearing.
And the growth of a glioblastoma is incredibly fast. So it's not that this tumor would have been sitting there for a couple of years in advance of it being picked up.
Right.
Kind of like I said, I went from 1 by 1 centimeter to 5 by 7 centimeters in under a month. So, probably that episode of him having that hypersonic hearing was the start of that tumor kind of getting its roots into him.
And how long was that in between you actually being confirmed?
So he got, it would have been 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Yeah.
Because
Oscar.
like I said, I was in London and then I came home. It was a planned trip anyway, but then, I buried my brother.
Passed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I guess with this diagnosis and what you're actually undergoing, traveling is questionable, or it's only cruises from now?
I got cleared on the last scan, so I get to go on Monday because me and jet setting. But I'm gonna go to someplace close first.
Okay.
Just in case,
So
then come back and I'll plan another flight to London.
Leave it to Oscar. You must have their doctors pulling their hair out of their head.
Pretty much. You should see when the lawyer comes out, you gotta negotiate certain things with them.
Like a vodka soda.
But it's so good to see you in this space, to hear the laughter, despite it being such a very touching and emotional moment, and to just see the smiles on your faces. That should be an inspiration for anybody who's going through anything right now, and for even those who are not diagnosed with anything. Look at your spirit; it's amazing.
But the key with going through this type of terminal illness, positivity. One has to stay positive. If you dwell on, oh, look at me, feel sorry for me, and you're wishing yourself to just pass, that's negativity. You don't want that.
Right.
You be positive, and again, surround yourself with good people, love, and your God above.
Is it the same for you, Melissa?
Yeah, absolutely. I think positivity and humor just can get you so much further along. Oscar's original prognosis was 6 months before he was to pass, and we're just reached 10. So I've got to trust that our
Thank you,
love for each
Jesus. You're
other.
still with us.
Yep, I got to trust that our
And
love
he'll
for
be with
one
us
another
forever for a much longer time too.
and our laughter has kept him alive much longer than he should have been.
We got a returnee. You're alive, Michelle.
Yeah, one time. Yes, sir, me again. But you look good, and you just what you just said is how you gotta think. Keep the spirit up. You got good spirits, and you look good. Because my husband's tumor was bigger than yours. His went from a 2 centimeter to a 3. So you're still lucky so far. Thank God he in remission now. But like I say, you look good, and then you say you could eat anything, and you now lose no weight and stuff. He went from 140 pounds to 106. He lose a lot of weight because, well, his throat, because he had to get the tracheostomy in his throat, and the chemo and the radiation messed him up. He went 8 weeks. But you look good, and your hair his hair never fell out, but it like stopped the growth in his face, because he have little hair on his face like you, and that had like stopped growing. But now it started again, but his hair never did fall out. And he used to keep his hair low like yours, so it never, dropped the hair, thank God, or nothing. But he went to, well, actually he's still skinny, because he had started to gain a little weight after that and stuff. And then, well, his throat, he couldn't swallow. They had to put stuff in his, and then he had to get the feck in his belly and stuff. He went through a lot, but thank God he's still alive and he's doing good. We have to go back in October, because they say, and no medication, his pressure, all his stats keeps good, and he didn't have much appetite, but I gave him something for appetite, and now every minute he don't eat much, because he never was a big eater, but he eats often. He's picking and stuff, but he craving a lot of sweets. But they tell me, don't take him off of all sweets, but give him like little moderate, like just small portions, and he likes his sodas, so they got him drinking the zero Pepsi, because he was always a drinker. He was never an eater. But he's doing good, thank God. And like I say, keep the faith up. But he had sort of like, he wasn't even talking or nothing. And when people come and look for him, he was grateful and stuff. But he was, and like, mood of spirits he used to get. And then he said he won't go home. He's sick out there, because we went up there. We were supposed to be there 3 days, and I was up there 3 months and 2 weeks laying down up, sharing with him. And so, like I say, you look,
Thank you.
I like how you
again,
keep the spirit,
positivity.
and you make it. You're going to be okay. By the help of God, you're going to do good.
Thank you. But I'm talking about positivity. I call Hell City East End a country club.
she hung up, but she's listening. Yeah.
So last time I was in there because of my seizure, one of the
Right.
doctors and nurses who were there with my operation, they're like, "Mr. DaCosta, why are you here again?" I'm like, "Well, I couldn't come up here without visiting the country club." And they laughed and went, "Yes, but you can say hello from outside." I'm like, "Well, then I wouldn't be able to spend any time with you."
Aw. But it must make a world of a difference actually going through this and having the access to medical health care right here at home, and the power of having family right there that they don't have to travel. The conveniences of being home. That says a lot about the Cayman Islands and what we have to offer.
Correct.
Massive, absolutely massive. Every single one of his specialists are WhatsApp, and it doesn't matter what time of the day or night that I call them, I have an answer back within 5 minutes. You don't get that kind of medical care in many other jurisdictions in this world. It is really something that we are so fortunate to have that as part of the infrastructure within our health system.
And like I said, you don't know until you're actually going through it. The convenience and the difference of having to be flown overseas versus having that level of expertise and services right here on this little island.
Correct.
It's amazing. Well, it has indeed been a pleasure speaking with you both. And I know you've already done a wrap up, but this is your platform. The floor is for both of you.
Lovely wife, would you like to take it?
I really hope that anyone that has a sick family member that is going through something similar, anywhere within this gray area, that they know that we are now here to be able to support them and to give them love and to help negotiate what it is that they're going through. And I know that my work that I'm doing with this MPO is only going to make my healing through this so much easier. And my acceptance so much easier. So I really just hope that I can provide that to anyone else that's going through this. And I love my husband very dearly, and I'm so proud of him.
I love you too, darling. I love you. Thank you. Because I call her Wonder Woman. Again, it's not only about the patient, it's the caretaker.
Right.
She's my nurse, she's my doctor, she's my pharmacist, and chauffeur. Because when you have seizure issue prone, you're not supposed to drive.
Correct.
And Sabrina, you know how much I used to love the drives.
Tell me about it.
I think you forgot chef and cleaner and a couple other ones in there, but go ahead.
I figured caretaker covers it all, you know. Again, this is our humor. That's all. And my comedian. There you go. And my comedian.
Yep. Oh, it's just wonderful. Go ahead.
I'm fortunate, Sabrina. And I want to make my fortunate. Everybody else is fortunate through this NPO. And anyone that's going through anything, feel free to contact us. I will happily sit down and talk to you and hold your hand, and we can bounce off of each other. Again, there's some sort of support there, you know?
Right. Right.
I've seen a therapist. It helped a bit. But again, they don't know what you're going through as the cancer warrior. But it was great to have a therapist to talk to and somebody that doesn't judge and whatever you want to call using therapy. Again, we go back to the mental health blasé stuff that we would never talk about.
Correct.
You have to talk about mental health is important, period. Like I joked with a friend of mine who is also a lawyer. Actually, she's our general counsel, Abby. I said, Abby, we should start a law firm called 2/3 in One Hole. I have 2/3, you have one hole. We'll get her done.
That's the sense of humor.
So I said the other day, I'm like, can you imagine? Hello, 2/3 in one hole. We'll get her done. How may we help? The person on the other end puts the phone down. What?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm quite sure there will be opportunities for volunteers as well to help out in this NPO, correct?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. So we're just getting our website kind of formalized right now, but we can, if you send us an email at info@thegrayarea.ky, we can start to get anyone that wants to help and volunteer with us. We can get them started on the process. We definitely need some help coming up before September 6th. So I'd love it if someone contacted us.
Yeah. So, well, we'll definitely share that information again on the link below. And again, they can follow you on Instagram, I think you are. Repeat that,
Instagram.
Please.
Yeah. Instagram, the Gray Area KY. And it's gray spelled with an E, not with an A. So that's the one thing.
You know, the proper English way, Sabrina.
Yeah.
I know. But it has indeed been a pleasure to host you here. And I know this will not be the last time. The first time is a charm. The second time is even better. As we get closer down to your event, I will welcome you both back here as we help to promote your event and definitely to continue this walk and this journey with both of you and your NPO. I am making my pledge to you to be of service and provide access for you to spread this word out. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of both of you.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Have a wonderful evening. And we will definitely not be strangers.
Of course not. Plus, we got to get the dance floor again, remember?
Yeah. I got to tell you what, since then, I got one left knee from campaign. But I got make sure from Lenny Miss to Mulberry Leaf, I got to be ready for that event.
All right, good.
I'm not going down without a fight. Oscar, I'm not. I'm going to challenge you on the dance floor and we're going to have a blast.
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to it. Much love.
I am too. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Sabrina.
you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Else.
Well, there you have it. Another very, that one was emotional. And, it just speaks to volumes of what we can do right here on this space. And it's such an honor to be able to be here and share this with all of you. And we can only be here for Oscar and for anyone who's out there going through any challenge, and especially when it comes to medical. You no longer have to feel alone. And the bravery, the candor shared here, for all of the positive feedback that we've received, we're off to a wonderful start. And I am so, so happy to be the host of Sabrina Speaks, to create this family, to create this space, to deliver content just like this. It has been a pleasure for me bringing you another edition of Sabrina Speaks right here on CMRTV.com. And tomorrow is Wind Down Friday, and we're looking forward to a jam-packed week. A jam-packed week. Trust me, we got a jam-packed week in store. But until tomorrow, for Wind Down Fridays, have a safe and wonderful Thursday. That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.